Hello there and welcome to this week's edition of Creative Critique. Now, this week's edition could be described as a bit of a thriller special, more along the lines probably of a psychological or disturbing thrillers though, because the two films on show certainly have elements of them and are not your average thriller. It's very fair to say. So I'll get straight into my theatrically released film of the week, which was the directorial debut of Joel Edgerton, and the film is The Gift. First of all, I didn't even know Joel Edgerton had an interest in directing, so that's interesting to know. And what a great film this is for a first film as a director. Yes, it is a pure psychological thriller at its heart, and the film, I'll give you a brief plot synopsis. So the film centers on a couple played by Jason Bateman and Rebecca Hall. They have just moved house. He's looking at getting he's just got a new job in a new city, and they come across a character or friend from Jason Bateman's childhood and past, who is called Gordo, played by Joel Edgerton, a director. So he's got his fingers in many pies there. He's directing and acting, so he has a nice bit of work going on there. And his character Gordo becomes quite friendly with them, but it's not quite reciprocated from Bateman himself. Rebecca Hall is a bit more friendly towards him, but certain things occur that make them a bit concerned for, well, her safety in particular, but their safety in general from him. And what goes from there is a twisting and turning, truly unnerving story of a couple re-engaging with a childhood friend, if you will. So, now the problem with this sort of film is that there's your plot synopsis. That's the general theme. If I was to say anything else, it would completely spoil the film. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to talk about... I'll talk about first of all the performances of the characters. So Jason Bateman, it's really good to see him in this sort of role and not a comedic role, because hey, Bateman's great at comedy, but it's really nice to see him try his hand at something like this, which is really interesting. Rebecca Hall, great stuff, puts in a suitably fragile performance. And, well, Joel Edgerton, he's done a fantastic job, which is quite a rare job, is being able to direct a film and star in the film. Very few people are able to do that, and he does it extremely successfully, making you scared of his character, feel sympathy for his character, creating a whole range of emotions for this truly interesting individual. Obviously, certain plot elements are revealed during the film, which, yeah, that's the thing. I can't really say much. Will have you reeling in certain aspects, and yeah, it is just truly superb. It's suspenseful. There's great horror elements to particular scenes where Rebecca Hall is in her own house alone. Brilliantly done, fantastically done, and yeah, it's thrilling. It's quite scary at certain times. It's funny, but not intentionally, and yeah. So what can I say about that film? Yeah, it's a fabulous psychological thriller, fantastic directorial debut, and like I say, for a psychological thriller has never been a more apt description. So yeah, what can I say? It's delight. Oh, what I will say is the ending, delightfully ambiguous, and suitably distressing considering the film you have watched to that point. You won't know what kind of film you're watching at the time. During the film, it will take you one way, then lead you up another garden path, and so on and so forth. So there's fabulous stuff going on there from Edgerton. And I think it's absolutely fabulous. It's one of my probably one of my favourite films of the year, and it may end up in my 10 films, best films of the year, because there's nothing been like it this year. The last film that came to mind for this sort of thrilling nature and twisting and turning storyline was Gone Girl from last year, and anybody who's seen that will know what I mean. So if you love that, you're gonna love this sort of film as well. But hey, go in, know nothing about the film, and just enjoy the ride, because it is truly fabulous to watch. It is just throughout the film you were just, it's so intense. It is intense and unnerving, and excuse me, and that's nothing but a compliment to the film, because that's exactly what it's going for. So yeah, there we go. The Gift. Psychological thriller has never been a more apt description, really, and director Edgerton. Joel Edgerton has made a fantastic directorial debut. Like I say, you won't know what you're watching. It's just fun, fabulous stuff. Yeah, filmmaking. There we go. Gift was my theatrically released film of the week. So I will go on to my classic film of the week, continuing the excuse me. Continuing. Sorry about this. Really sorry about this. Continuing the thriller aspect of the film. Now, the film itself is the Park Chan-wook film from 2003, Oldboy. Now, of course, it's a South Korean film. Now, South Korean cinema around that sort of time was getting a reputation for a bit of... They were in the making of revenge flicks, if you will. And Park Chan-wook was the master of that at the time. Because before this film and after this film, he did similar films which themed on revenge. The film itself, and once again I'll give a brief description of the plot device. So the main character is played by Min-sik, who plays the character... what's he called? Is it Odaisu? I think it's Odaisu. And the film opens with him effectively drunken at a police station, and his friend has to come and pick him up. On this particular day, it is his daughter's 4th birthday, which clearly he has messed up completely. While his friend is ringing his home and his wife to let her know that he is on his way home with him, Cho Min-sik's character goes off and suddenly is nowhere to be seen, seemingly kidnapped by someone unknown. What we then quickly realise is that he has been kidnapped. We still have no idea who it is, but he's imprisoned in what appears to be a room or a flat or some sort of building, and this continues for 15 years. Now this is the beginning of the film. This happens, so you go through the timeline of just showing how long he's been there, what occurs in this room. So the only thing that he's got in this room is a TV, which just keep him up to date on news events, and every now and then there'll be some sort of mystery gas that puts him to sleep, so he's clearly been drugged at some point, and so on and so forth. He's secretly trying to get out of this room at the same time, and just as he's about to, he's mysteriously released. Now, of course, what does he want to do? The first thing, he wants to find out why. Oh, no, not why. Who imprisoned him. For a start, who and why. And it becomes a completely spiraling mystery film, and it's described as sort of a new age noir film, which is a suitable description, to be honest. I'll steal that. And yes, he meets a young chef called Mido, and she quickly feels sympathy for him and engages in his story, and they become romantically involved. And like I said, the rest of the film plays out him trying to find out who imprisoned him, why he imprisoned him, and then you are left spiraling, going through those reasons and what occurs. I'm really sorry because I can't describe what happens in this film because, once again, it just spoils aspects of the film. What I will talk about is the style of the film. Oh, wait, before I go into the style, I will go on to particular notorious aspects of the film. Now, there's two in particular that are regularly brought up when talking about Oldboy. The one is the octopus scene. Now, it's not going to be too much of a spoiler, to be honest. So I'll talk about it. The scene revolves him, when he goes to this restaurant after being released, is that he has had nothing but a particular type of food for ages, so suddenly he wants something that is different and lively and, yeah, different to eat. And guess what? He wants to eat a live octopus. Now, what a normal filmmaker would do, of course, would be to CGI the octopus, the live octopus. But no, that's not what happens here from Park Chan-wook. He decides, considering it's a delicacy in Asia, to eat a live octopus, although apparently it is cut up rather than just ate whole. He decided he wanted to get Min-sik to actually eat this octopus live, and numerous times, apparently from numerous takes. It is a distressing scene for anybody who's not used to that sort of that cuisine. And having rewatched it again, there's still something about those tentacles moving around outside of his mouth, even after he's eaten the head. There's this aspect of it that is just really distressing. So that's just interesting beyond a doubt. But the major one that is regularly brought up is the corridor scene. Now, the corridor scene is... I will describe what goes on because, like I say, it's a revenge flick. So, upon trying to find out who has accosted and imprisoned him in this room, he eventually meets and goes to the building, finds out where the building is, that he was imprisoned, and confronts the people there who imprisoned him. Not the people who put him in there or asked them to put him in there, but they just accommodated him, if you will. And it's a corridor scene where effectively it's almost like, imagine you're looking at a comic book panel. It's a long panel, and you're looking at it as though you are side on, you are completely side on, and he is at one end of the room, and he is slowly but surely, as people and people and people, more and more villains come at him, he's fighting through them. This is one take. And it is absolutely superb. It is fantastic, and it's no wonder it is heralded and is pinpointed one of the major scenes from that film, because you were just enthralled by it. The fights bits are great. There's even little comedic aspects to it that are fantastic, and the fact it is done from that point of view of the side on angle, and it's almost like I say, it's a comic book panel. It's no surprise considering this story came from a manga story, which is obviously Japanese comics. So fabulous. It's just truly fabulous. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that scene, to be honest. Yeah. So it's got fabulously unique aspects to the film, but it's the psychological and it's the mystery more than anything, I suppose, isn't it? Although it gets very psychological towards the end of the film, considering particular aspects of his past and current life when they hit each other on a collision course, is once again distressing. And I remember I will talk about this film from my. I saw this film about 8-9 years ago, so I would have been 17 or 18. I'm not sure what sort of age, but it was back in a time when I didn't know too much about films. So it's these days I'm so clued up. I know about almost every film before I even go into seeing it critically. I mean, so I will choose things critically before I go and watch them, see what the response is. But with this, it was just one of those films that was on Film 4, I think it was, and it was a late night film. It suddenly caught my attention, and I was absolutely transfixed by it. Absolutely transfixed. Because at that age, I had not seen anything quite like that sort of film before. Because of the uniqueness, because of the particular incidents that occurred during the film, and just the distressing nature of the film, it's completely anti-Hollywood. It's just well, I say anti-Hollywood. I won't go into too much detail why it is, because you can experience that for yourself by watching the film. But yes, it had me transfixed, and I watched it again for only the second time, because it's one of those films I didn't want to have ruined by repeat viewings. So I wanted a special occasion to watch the film. I watched it as a classic film 2 nights ago, and those final moments, even though you know what's coming, is still as distressing as anything. And that is just a testament to the brilliant storytelling of the film and atmosphere of the film. There we go. I don't think I can say any more about the film. Greatly performed, greatly directed, unique moments in the film. Fantastic score, some great music in this film at certain moments. And yeah, fantastic film, Oldboy. Everybody watch it. Do not watch the American remake. It is just a shot for shot remake, pretty much, apart from particular incidents. Yeah, why? Why watch that? Watch Oldboy. Watch the 2003 South Korean Oldboy. Thank you very much. There we go. That's my classic film of the week, Oldboy. And my theatrical release film of the week was The Gift, the directorial debut of Joel Edgerton. Both brilliant, psychological, disturbing, twisting and turning thrillers that are so unique to cinema, and you must watch because they are exactly what makes cinema wonderful to witness. There we go. I thank you very much for watching if you have, and I hope to see and speak to you again. I'd like you to subscribe if you could. But yeah, I hope to see you again. Thank you very much, and goodbye.